All right, good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. Today I'm going to be covering the Tier 8 Premium Light Cruiser, the Almirante Grau. The reason I'm going to be covering the ship again is because we do have the ability now to put Joaquim Marquez Lisboa on it. So that means you're gonna be able to get some really nice buffs on it. I actually played it the other day and wanted to feature one of my replays in it. So I'm gonna put this in the Fresh Look series, in where I kind of review older premium ships in the game and just kind of give you a commentary over one of the games that I had. I was performing quite well in all the games I had, so I'm happy to show just one, but yeah. So let's start off as usual. I think this ship is currently not available for anything in the game. So I think maybe the only way to get it is crates, but unfortunately I actually don't know. I'll put that in the description of the video what it's available for, if it's available in crates for Christmas crates or not. But I don't think it's actually currently available in the store. I checked, it's not there. So, well, yeah. Let's start off as usual with the armor layout for the ship. So if we take a look here, armor layout, I actually want to bring up another ship as well, just so we can look at both the 7 Provincien and the Almirante Grau. So I have 20, because they're the same class of ship. So we have 25mm nose armor, 25 side plate, and 25 back. We also have a 60mm aft end belt, and then the belt is all 50 and 75 and 50 here. So not too bad overall. And we also have a 27mm deck. I believe the armor should be identical to something like the 7. It is identical to the 7. That would make sense, because they are the same class of ship. I believe Almirante Grau is actually the De Ruyter, I think. Yes, it's Cruiser De Ruyter. And this is the 7 Provincien. I believe they built only 2 of them. For the Citadel armor, if we take a look at the Citadel here really fast, it does sit kind of underwater. These ships are a bit hard to Citadel, but actually I've been Citadel quite a fair amount of times playing this ship. I feel like playing the 7 is a bit easier because of that speed boost ability, and you also have the heal, which is nice on the 7 Provincien. I personally prefer the 7 Provincien overall. I think that the 7 Provincien is one of my favorite ships in the game, to be honest. I do think it's a great ship. But the Almirante Grau, sorry, I saw Allende here. The Almirante Grau, actually, I was trying it out the other day, and I actually had quite a good time in it. So, especially with this new captain, it makes it way better, to be honest. And I'll explain why. But let's take a look at our commander build first. I have this AA spec captain. We have Last Stand, focus firing training, survivability expert, AA and defense and ASW expert, concealment expert, IFHE, and adrenaline rush. Oh my gosh, I just woke up. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, and for our modules, we have Concealment System Mod 1, Prop Mod 1, Aiming System Mod 1, Hydro Search Mod 1, and Main Armaments Mod 1. So that's kind of the build for the ship. If you don't want to take Hydro Search Mod 1, you can take Engine Room Protection. For exterior Camouflage, there's actually 2 available for the ship as long as you got it originally. I think maybe one of them was only in a bundle. So you have the single tone modern navy kind of camouflage design, which, you know, on most ships it's a bit cringe on some of them, but on this one it would make kind of sense, because I guess this is one it actually used historically. Unfortunately, we see the 7 Provincien, though, it actually has a nicer camouflage with the at least a 2-tone camouflage instead of a 1-tone. The 7 also has this lovely let me know if you want me to cover a video in the 7. I actually really love the 7, so I wouldn't mind covering it in a future video, maybe the next video. Yeah, we also have this Ancient Totem camo, which unfortunately doesn't look that good on this map because it's snowy. And it seems like camouflages, when it comes to reflections, it doesn't show them very well sometimes. But this is what the actual camo looks like. I think this camo looks amazing, to be honest. Now, it is a bit too much, maybe, because of the... I don't know what this is. It could be Aztec or Mayan. Or Incas, I'm not sure. I guess it would be Incas, maybe. I'm not sure who was in Peru, but yeah, I think this camo looks lovely. And a question I get asked often, by the way, from viewers is how do you switch the nation's flag? So you're gonna go back to port, for example, go into exterior, and you click this flag icon at the end where you can select your flag. Normally it might be closed down here called naval flags, and you can open it up and you can switch from the Pan American flag to Peruvian flag, and you can do this in the Pan-European, Pan-Asian, and Pan-American trees, and even the Commonwealth. So yeah, you can of course switch that. So that's how you switch that. I'll cover ship characteristics really fast if possible, and then we'll go into the game. For survivability, we have 39,800 HP, which is more than the 7, but you have a heal on the 7 Provincien, remember. 19% torpedo protection. Main battery, we have 7-second reload, 152mm AP with 16.1 kilometer gun range. The 7, of course, has 6.5-second reload, so you have slightly better DPM, and the range is the same. So yeah, it's pretty much, the 7 does get better raw DPM, which is interesting. But we have a funny F key on this one, which gives you a little buff, and we'll talk about that soon. Maneuver AA, it's actually really good. It's actually extremely good AA. The 7 has extremely good AA as well. But Almirante Grau's AA is actually incredible with the DFA. You can actually shoot down quite a lot of planes. Maneuverability, we go 33.6 knots, which is very slow. It might be the same as the 7, but the 7 has a 8% speed boost, helping it out a bit. 33.6 knots. Concealment, we go, well, it's 9.6 detection. For our F key, we actually get a combat instruction here, which is different than the main line. We know the main line one reloads the consumables 80% faster. For Almirante Grau, at least for the tier 8, for the Almirante Grau, we get a 66% reload buff on our F key, giving you a significant advantage in DPM. Now, how do you get the F key? You have to actually stay dark for around 50 seconds, I believe. It's actually, so it's 10% every 5 seconds. So 100% is 50 seconds. You stay dark for 50 seconds and you get the F key. So let's talk about Lisboa really fast. I know this introduction has been really long, but there's a kind of a lot to say, I guess. For this captain, what makes it really nice for the Almirante Grau is the both skills, actually. 175 shell hits is quite easy to proc on this ship. And also Master and Commander. This one, for the second F key you get, so you click F twice when it ends. For the third F key and every other F key from then on, you get a 20% start, like filling on this forever on your F key. So you actually only have to stay dark for 40 seconds, giving you a 10-second extra. Well, you can start shooting your guns earlier, basically, on the F key. So that makes it quite easy to use. It also makes it often. And I actually have a strat. Now, I don't know. I never heard of it from anyone else, so I literally just kind of like came up with it yesterday. So if anyone has used this before and you know about it, well, it's not because I stole it. I literally just found out about it yesterday because I was playing tier 8 with PQ, and I was like, I wanted to try the Almirante Grau. Let me put Lisboa on it. And I was like, wait, I could just spam F key twice here at the start of the game, and I'll show you in the game. But and you also get 5% speed on that one, which actually buffs your speed to 35 knots permanently in the game. No speed boost required, which is very nice. And you also get a 5% main gun reload buff when you get 175 shell hits. So quite nice buffs overall that are easy to proc in the Almirante Grau. But let's take a look at the game in the Almirante Grau. Alright, so here we are on Shards playing with our colleague, friend, acquaintance, long time, well, old clan partner back in 07. Potato Quality, of course. He's in North Carolina. He's been playing it recently because it's one of the free ships available in the Arctic Voyage or something. I'm not really sure what it's called. I think Arctic Voyage. Anyway, so Almirante Grau. I'm going to actually showcase the whole replay here because I want to talk about the strat that I've been employing in it. And that if you do have it, I recommend you do if possible, because you will get quite a significant buff in the ship. So what I'm pretty much doing every game now, I load in, and whilst I'm driving towards the flank or sailing towards the flank, you see the F key is starting to get procced because I am dark. You need to be dark for 50 seconds to proc it. So the strat is basically it's gonna reload once. We're gonna click F, and then we're gonna reload the second time and click F again. This is all before we even get into combat, preferably. So when we do get in combat, we actually have, well, the buffs, 5% speed at the start of the game. It's super easy. You know, this ship went under my radar when this captain came out. Now, this captain is quite a good captain overall, the Lisboa. It can work on San Martin. It can work on the Libertad. It can probably work on La Pampa, maybe. Maybe not that well on La Pampa, because I believe it does take a while to get your F key. But, you know, you can always put him on because it's a premium ship, that one, the La Pampa. So, yeah. This is pretty good for the ship, you know. It went under my radar because it's not really a ship I kind of forgot playing about. Forgot about it. But yeah, look, so we instantly pop our F key here. Now it would seem realistically, if you don't know what I'm doing, it would seem a bit counterintuitive that I'm just spamming F keys at the start of the game. But this with Lisboa is going to help us get quicker F keys later on in the game, and it's also going to give us that 5% buff. So that's going to be pretty nice on speed. And of course, it's going to help us get our 175 shell hits faster, which means we'll get a little 5% reload buff earlier. One thing I want to say about this ship, I think it looks really good. I love the look of the 7 class cruisers. I think they're some of the best ships, or best looking ships in the game for sure. This camouflage is one tone, but the 7 has a really nice camouflage on it. I could have also used the Aztec camo for it, but I chose not to. So yeah. We're gonna get a next F key here. I probably wasn't paying attention. I could have probably shot the Baltimore, maybe. No, he's dark. That's fine. So yeah, one of the main downsides in this ship, I would say, would be the fact that, let's say you don't have the special captain. Even with the special captain, is for that 50-40 second downtime, if you either don't have a smoke screen or an island to hide behind that you can shoot over, you will not be able to shoot your guns for those 40 seconds if you want your F key. And of course you would want your F key because you get a 66% reload buff. There we go. So we procced our speed increase there 5%, and we also got our combat instruction. As you can see, it starts off at 20% straight away. This is for this F key and future F keys, every single F key. As I was saying, like, I actually lost my train of thought there, unfortunately. Oh yeah. So when you're shooting your guns, or you know, you're using your reload boost to recharge your boost, you have to literally go dark. And if you're playing open water, or you're playing solo without a smoke bot or something, which is for the most part, I don't think I've actually played it ever with a smoke bot for myself, but I know this would be one of the stronger ships with a smoke bot. If you're playing open water or something and not behind an island, you're gonna have to stop shooting for 40-50 seconds. This is of course because, well, I mean, you can't really charge your F key, and you want your F key. It's 66% reload buff for 30 seconds, guys. It's not just even a normal French reload booster, 15 seconds, 50% reload time. This is 30 seconds, 66% reload time. And you know, in my initial review, I think I said the ship was pretty good. But I believe I said if you have the 7, I think you can just play the 7. And it's true, I still think this, to be honest. If you do have the 7, I think the 7 is still really good. You've got that 6.5 second reload time, and you've got air strikes, and you've got speed boost, and you've got that heal going for you, and you still retain the good AA. Maybe not as good because you don't have DFA. But you saw how quickly that Baltimore just died, right? 33,000 damage in 30 seconds. Now we have to go dark and recharge our F key. Now it is a CV game, keep in mind, but we do have really good AA, so if he comes spots us, we just DFA him. And one thing to keep in mind is your time before losing progress is 30 seconds. So let's say you shoot and you have that 20-second bloom time. Maybe you made a mistake. You do have 10 whole seconds there leeway, because if you go dark, you have 10 extra seconds to live. Now, I do see these planes coming for PQ here. I want to turn in and try to catch them into my DFA if possible. Because the AA is pretty decent on the ship. You got 6.9 kilometer AA range, and as you can see, Let's see if we can click Y. Let's see what happens. And sector our AA. We start doing 79, 689. He starts eating some flak. Boom, 6. He eats some flak there and instantly loses his entire squad. And as you can see, we didn't really lose our F key progress because it says it takes 30 seconds before you start actually losing your progress in the F key. So yeah, that's pretty cool. What's nice also about like the speed, you kind of don't get the full 8% speed boost the 7 does. But you do get 5% and it's permanent the entire game, right? So you don't even... You'll never even be as slow as the 7 ever. But yeah. This ship is with this captain now, it's even better than it was originally. Now, it was pretty good originally. But nowadays, I think it's way better, actually. It's just a free buff. It's basically a free buff. And it's something you can proc every game. And we see a Monarch coming around the corner here. Unfortunately, I'm full broadside. Libertad also called a shot onto me. But I'm going to activate my F key here. We do have IFHE, so we're going to be able to pen him literally everywhere. The IFHE is a kind of a trade-off because you're not getting as many fires. I notice I get a lot of shell hits in these games, but I don't get many fires. You could play it without IFHE. Same goes with the 7. I do play the 7 with IFHE, and I believe I have one of the highest, if not the highest average damages in the 7 right now in the game. But I'm not sure if that got changed, but I believe I still do. I do think the IFHE is really good against tier 8s. I wouldn't say, for example, against with Wooster, I wouldn't recommend you take IFHE because at tier 10 there's more ships with better armor overall. But at tier 8 you have these tier 8 ships like Monarch. Maybe you fight a Lion or something. The IFHE could literally pen every one of those ships everywhere. So look how easy we're proccing our FK, by the way. Again, we're gonna bring it up again. We just stopped shooting and we're gonna bring it up almost instantaneously here, which is quite incredible. But we got another FK here. We start shooting away again. 66% reload buff is crazy. Look at our reload right now. 2.1 seconds with 8 guns that pen 32 millimeters of armor with IFHE and that have around 2.15 alpha. So pretty good overall. But the IFHE, like I said, you don't have to take IFHE. You can kind of go a fire build if you want. But against those tier 8 ships, like the Monarch, or I don't know what another one would be, maybe like an Amagi or something, you can start unloading damage very fast. You can unload a lot of damage very fast, which is really nice. So I kind of still would stick with the IFHE, but I might play it again on stream today and try it out with the fire build instead of the IFHE build to see where it goes, you know, to see what I can do. Maybe we could get big fire damage, but for example, the fire damage is going to be really good against maybe higher tier ships, for example, or tier 7 ships where you pen them everywhere anyway. So IFHE doesn't really change anything on those ships either. But yeah, I mean, I'm liking this ship, especially with this captain. I'm liking this ship even more than I did originally. I think it's awesome. And you know, the 7 Provincien class cruisers, or whatever the class is mainly called, maybe they're the Reuter class cruisers. I think these ships look awesome, and I actually like playing ships that I think look awesome, like in terms of their visual aspect. That might be a bit, you know, weird or cringe, but I don't care. You know? This Georgia here, unfortunately my aim is quite bad. I'm aiming a bit low, I guess. I'm aiming a bit high, but he is turning out, so it does translate to me aiming a bit low, which means we're getting a lot of non-pens instead of pens onto a superstructure. We do get a fire there. I do switch to the Tianjin here. Might have been a mistake, but he is on fire, the Georgia, and I kind of wanted to see if I can get some more damage on this Tianjin because he's quad bow in. I try to rotate my guns for the Los Andes here. I also had another 100. Well, I actually had another game in Faroe Islands. I think I got 150,000 damage in that one. That one I did. That one was my first one trying this ship, with also trying this Lisboa tactic of the double FK at the start of the game. And that one also ended up doing pretty well. But I didn't want to feature 2 games because I think for Fresh Look I always feature 1 game, so it doesn't realistically make sense for me to feature 2 games. because that kind of changes the whole aspect of the Fresh Look series. It also makes the video extremely long, and I think for this introduction of this video, it was already really long, unfortunately, because I was talking and yapping too much. Sometimes I just like talking, you know, so I'm sorry. I talk a bit too much, maybe, especially in these types of videos, but I do love this series, the Fresh Look series. But I do maybe need to spend less time in port. If you have any feedback, maybe if you want me to start the video in the game instead and maybe talk about ship characteristics after the game is done, that could also be something I could do in the future to switch it up a bit. But if you prefer the... Look at this F key, man. Now he's behind the rock, so I'm not able to arc all the shots into him. But yeah, really good damage. If you actually get the head, of course. But like I was saying, if you have any feedback of maybe the order of the game with the score, maybe you can just let me know in the comments below. I do read all the comments, by the way. Even if I don't reply to all the comments, guys, I do take time out of my day to read all the comments and see. Sometimes I will reply if you know, there's some question or something, or feedback or whatever, or you know, people who say big fan or whatever. I always try to reply, you know. Yeah, if you have any feedback, let me know, seriously. I will try adjust. If you think you would just prefer the gameplay at the start of the game instead of the ship introduction with the camouflage, we can put that at the end. If that's something you care for instead of how we do it right now, do let me know. And so Libertad versus... I'm a bit scared of opening up here because Libertad secondaries versus Almirante Grau will probably shred into my face. But, you know, I'm like, you know what? I just want to try it. I want to see what happens. So I turn on the reload here and look at the reload now. 1.8 seconds, I believe. 2.0. It's still incredible. You know what I mean? It's incredible. I actually do not take Concealment Expert on the 7 Provincien. This is a bit off topic. Because on that ship I take Rudder mod because I'm open watering more. This one I'm more inclined to sit behind islands because of the... Well, the lack of heal, 1, and 2, the lack of 3% extra speed on it now instead of 8% lack of speed. I'm not sure why I stopped shooting here because, well, Libertad is kind of the last ship in the game. But I guess, yeah, I don't know. I stopped shooting. I guess maybe I didn't want to die secondary so I can get to the Cassard. But unfortunately, I actually do not end up getting to that Cassard. I'm being really greedy for the F key, but also we let, I guess, PQ get the kill, which is nice too. But I end up not getting the Cassard, so I think we should just take a look at the score. Alright, so for the personal score, we got 157k damage, 450 shell hits, 2 kills, 5 fires. And we got, for team score, we got 2.4k base XP, which is quite high. And PQ got 2.2k base XP, so very nice indeed. Detailed report, we got 53k on that Monarch because of that HE pen. Look, we didn't even light a single fire on him in those 2 F keys because we're running IFHE. Now, of course, we could go just for superstructure pens without IFHE and get fires. I think that could be a build I want to try today just to see if it's better or not. But as you can see, we got 53k damage in 2 F keys. And on the Baltimore, as you saw at the start of the game, you don't need IFHE for that one. You get 31,000 in 1 F key, which is incredible. We get on the Libertad, we got 22k, Tianjin 16k, some on the Georgia and Los Andes, and of course we did damage the Khazard. Unfortunately, I didn't end up killing him. We also got 2k on the Hornet, okay. We got 153k damage from HE and 4,000 from fires because we don't light a lot of fires. Credits and XP, 1.5 million credits because we're running blue boosters, 10,000 free XP, 42,000 commander XP. Let's go back to the port. Alright, so we're back in port. So for our commander build, once again, we have Last Stand, Focus firing training, survivability expert, A, defense and ASW expert, concealment expert, IFHE, and adrenaline rush. If you don't want to choose the IFHE build, you can remove IFHE. You could potentially take top grade gunner and then take the rudder. But I don't recommend that because the ship is based on concealment, so I wouldn't recommend removing the concealment for rudder. I would recommend maybe if you take IFHE off, you either take something like outnumbered to give you another 8% speed buff when you are able to proc it, which is maybe sometimes you're on a weak flank, you could use the outnumbered to give you that little advantage. That actually could be a pretty good one. You also get slightly improved accuracy. You could also take demo expert and I don't know, something else, I guess, but maybe not. I think outnumbered would actually be not too bad on the ship instead of IFHE. So that's what I guess I recommend instead. For equipment, concealment system mod 1, prop mod 1, aiming system mod 1, hydro search mod 1, and main armaments mod 1. Now actually I went to look back at my original video in the Almirante Grau. And unfortunately, I guess I did say that I don't really like it. The reason being mainly at the time was, and I watched the whole review, so I actually know what I said. The reason I didn't like it originally, well, not didn't like it, I didn't recommend it to most people because I felt like the 7 Provincien was just a better ship at the time due to the fact that, well, you could keep constantly shooting your guns. You have better main gun DPM consistently in the game in terms of without the F key enabled is what I mean. You have that speed boost and heal, so you're tankier. So yeah, and of course, the 7 Provincien. I also said it for people who already own the 7 Provincien, because I think the 7 Provincien is, of course, a good ship. But, well, unfortunately, nowadays, Almirante Grau got a little buff, which unfortunately I couldn't, predict back then. It's just something I could never predict is that it's gonna get an F key buff, in where it just buffs the ship and gives it higher top speed so you can dodge better. It gives it a easier to recharge reload buff, and it also gives you a 5% reload buff when you get 175 shells. These are things I couldn't predict. But one must keep in mind there's also a special unique Dutch commander that's coming that could go on the 7 Provincien quite well. But that is, well, we'll have to see. Of course, that is subject to change, so we'll have to see. But yeah, originally I didn't have liked the Almirante Grau as much due to the fact that I actually preferred the 7 Provincien. But I think nowadays Almirante Grau, maybe to be honest, isn't like to me as good as the 7, because of course I actually really love the 7. I think it's awesome. But I think it's now at least on par, and it does actually pretty well with the special commander. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Of course, without the 7, with the special commander, is the ship playable? I mean, it's okay. It's gonna be still playable, of course, but I don't think it's gonna be anywhere near as good as this version of the ship. I just got a Santa crate, so let's open it in the video. Oh my god, crate opening, guys! Look, I don't know why I got a crate, but there you go. Nice, 25 heal flags. We needed that. Perfect. I love getting flags in containers. But that's pretty much the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the Almirante Grau. I would say if I recommend it or not, but it's currently not available. But if it does come available again, and you do have the Lisboa captain, and you're willing to put it on it instead of San Martin, potentially maybe you have a Libertad captain and an Almirante Grau captain, since it's a premium ship, you can move it for free. Then yeah, for sure, maybe I think the ship is alright. But you need to be quite good at playing cruisers, especially light cruisers, because if you do get caught out in the open and you're not that good at these light cruiser style, you might actually have a hard time playing this ship regardless. So keep that in mind. For experienced players, though, the ship is very good, I think. But yeah, that is pretty much the video, guys. One thing I want to mention is there is the YouTube join button at the bottom of my channel there, the subscription. I posted it on my community section on my YouTube channel. I'll actually, yeah. If I can actually share screen really fast. No, it's okay. You can go check it out in the community section. Basically, all it is you can donate $1 a month or something to my channel. All the levels give you the mission, but there's like the $1 a month one is the cheapest. I get 50% of that. 50% goes to Google. You don't have to do it, guys. but it does help out the channel, of course, because, well, I get an alternate revenue stream, so I can be able to do this more often. And what it does basically is, if you use the WoW's commander level on the join button on my YouTube channel, what it will do is it'll give you a super container mission. It's only one super container per month, but throughout this way, you can kind of support the channel whilst also getting something very small in the game. Now, I know it's very small. It's one super container. You don't have to do it. Of course, it doesn't really give you anything. It's more about support. You do it only if you want to support the channel. It's $1 a month, so it's not too expensive. But I get 50% of that. Of course, each of the levels gives you the mission, and you also get emotes that you are able to use in the comment section, and you get a little badge next to your name that shows that you're a member of the channel when you comment. But that's pretty much it. If you just click the join button, it will explain everything. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this Almirante Grau fresh look. It was a bit of a long one, even though it was one game. I need to try shorten these videos up a bit more again, because I've been recording very long videos. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Big fan.